Does anyone have any comments?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So the repairs and maintenance sections, what are these things for? Is it things that we had to do at the start of the school year? Is this for the temporary school?
And those were all expenditures that were needed in order to open the new school.
Right.
Okay, that was all approved last month. What will happen now with that amount of money is we will see if we can get some of those costs moved over to the building project, and then that money will then come back into our account because it'll go to the building project.
Okay, I just want to clarify.
Okay, so that's in the next step of that situation.
Yep.
No, all right. Item 10.4, discussion of possible action to retroactively approve emergency enabling repair project procurements.
So, long story short, is last year we approved a variety of different expenses so that we could continue work. There was a point where we needed to make a decision to continue moving forward with enabling repairs, even though Newfield's contract hadn't been finally approved, GMP 1 and GMP 2. We approved some things, but work happened over the summer during the transition that we had not approved. So we need to retroactively approve it. That work and a transition of facility staff escalated quickly, we'll say, in the sense that there were unforeseen things that impacted the scopes and costs of those projects. And there was unanticipated needs based on the size of the lines. But we have to take retroactive action to essentially approve the sole source for these amounts. So that's just a general synopsis. Questions? Others want to?
For clarity, the funding for these projects was paid for out of the school budget, which was not budgeted for. Right, so that puts us automatically at a deficit here. So we're going to recover part of that with what we had returned back to the town, and we will determine, I think, throughout this year where those funds can be.
Do we delegate around what the amount is?
Yeah, I'm going to go with it. What's that?
Is it these line items that add up to $62,000?
So there's a couple more chunks. I can go through them all because they're all included. Some of those things that we approved, like for example, Deke Electric, we approved, previously. Some of these things are just operating expenses when it comes to we're adding a billboard sign or, we're doing mulch. Like some of these things are just coming out of the normal school budget, but there's some big ticket ones, and mainly the big ticket is Foley.
Okay.
Right, and Foley is because scope increase, cost of copper increase, and we had no other choice to get the water. Now it's not apples for apples, so we're gonna do whatever it takes. So yeah.
Are some of these costs a result of the failures we had at the end of the school year last year?
The boilers failed, so we had to put in a temporary system.
Right.
But we also had to put in a temporary system because we need to demolish the boiler.
Right.
A contractor who has previously bid on that work, who would have a different capacity, is going to do it for a less expensive price. Or maybe they weren't going to do it for a less expensive price, but they're able to essentially give a credit that is less value than what the actual cost is for us. We had to pay. That makes sense. Complicated. I'm confusing myself as I'm talking, so I'm just,
I guess for me, my question is, should they be coming out of that 113 eventually, or whatever we've given back to the town? Where does the accounting lie eventually?
I think that's where we need to make determinations. We want to make the request for the 113.
Well, wait, but to get that 113 back, we have to go to a town vote. I know the selectmen prefer to have the money back if we don't use it, but are we able to hold on to it?
It's like, we can just do it. We have the statutory authority to create a fund and start now. I'm not sure that we have the legal ability to do it retroactively.
Yeah.
Right, retroactive.
Retroactively.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that the Board of Education retroactively approve an emergency sole source repair to Deke Electric for an amount not to exceed $8,686. And plumbing vendor, Foley's Heating and Plumbing, for an amount not to exceed $70,107. Would make a motion that we do the same retroactive approval to Foley's Plumbing and Heating for an amount not to exceed $6,200. I would make part of that same motion, a retroactive approval to Foley's Plumbing and Heating for an amount not to exceed $17,551. Another motion to Foley's Plumbing and Heating for an amount not to exceed $48,382 related to the temporary relocation of water service and the installation of temporary tanks, pumps, and pressure controllers. Make another motion for Foley's Plumbing and Heating, again, retroactively approve sole source procurement and the amount not to exceed $15,300.
In fact, this is getting a little messy here, Tim. But it just feels a little cumbersome.
I appreciate that, but it was.
I mean, do you have a total of all those
Well,
whole?
no, because they're done by projects. That's the problem. Right, so I don't have the total because I can't do. We got to do it.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
All in favor? Aye.
Okay. So we're going to go to a second motion to retroactively approve a sole source and an amount not to exceed $70,107 to our existing plumbing and heating vendor, Foley's Plumbing and Heating.
I will second that motion. All in favor? Aye.
But the only thing about doing it like this is like we're gonna approve each one, but like I see what they are here. So I see the total for Foley,
But
but I wanna make sure that those, what you have is adding up to that.